Hello, welcome again. We are solving GATE 2010 production in national engineering paper. We left at question number 25. Okay, so starting with question number 26. Uh, the question number 26 is during open die forging process using two flat and parallel dies, a solid circular disc of initial radius r in 200 mm and initial height h in 50 mm attains a height hfn of 30 mm and radius of rfn. Along the die disc interfaces, one coefficient of friction mu is 0.35 bracket 1 plus e minus rn by rfn. Okay. 2 in the region RSS less than sorry R in the region when R is between RSS and RFN, the sliding friction prevails, and P is equal to root 3 K E raised to power 2 mu divided by HFN, RFN minus R. Okay, and tau is equal to mu P. Okay, where P and tau are the normal and shear stresses respectively. P is the shear yield stress of the steel and R is the radial distance of any point. In the region between 0 to RSS, sticking friction prevails. Uh, the value of RSS where the sticking condition changes to sliding friction is option A 241.76 and B 254.55, C 265.45 and D 278.2. So here it is given that the region between RSS and RFN is your sliding friction. Okay, and region between 0 to RSS is your sticking friction. So at R is equal to RSS, both uh, the the RSS is the common made of both sticking friction and sliding friction. Okay, so so at this point we'll find out the pressure and in sticking friction the tau is equal to shear resistance. Okay, and we will find out sorry we will find out pressure at R is equal to where RSS. Okay, and then find out the shear stress. Okay, and by using this mu. Okay, and then we'll put it equal to your shear yield stress. Shear yield stress is given. It is not given. Okay, where K is it? Shear stress. So it is in terms of K. So we'll find out pressure in terms of K, and we'll find out this shear stress in terms of K. So in this region, this tau is equal to K. Okay, and then we find out real value of R. How? Okay. So in plastic, first of all, we'll find out all the values that we have to use. Okay. So here we are in RFN, HFN, RFN. Okay. So and we okay. So in a plastic deformation, total initial volume is equal to total final volume. Okay. So from this, as inner radius is given, initial height is given, final height is given. Okay. So we can find out final radius. So the purpose of finding out this RFN is because we have to use RFN to find out mu. Okay. Now we'll find out mu because we have Rn. Okay, and Rfn. Okay, so the mu comes out as 0.51131. Okay, so now at R is equal to RSS, will be put here this R is equal to RSS, and then the P will be R is equal to RSS. Okay, and then your P, we put here R is equal to RSS. Okay, so then we find out P. Okay, and then if you multiply it by mu, then mu P. Okay, and this mu P at RSS, the sticking for sticking friction condition tau is equal to K, and for sliding friction condition that is mu P. So and RSS is common to both sticking and sliding friction, so these two are equal. So now putting this mu is equal to mu and P is equal to this, that is according to the formula, and then equal to K. So K will cancel out. Okay, and we have all other values. Okay, we have HFN, we have mu. Okay, we have RFN, we have RSS. So we don't have RSS. Okay, so we have all other values. So we can find out RSS. So RSS comes out as 254.62. Answer is here. Yeah. Okay. Next, two steel bars, each of diameter 10 mm, are coaxially friction welded end to end at an axial pressure of 200 MPa and at a rotational speed of 4000 rpm. The coefficient of friction between the melting faces of the rotating bars is 0.5. The torque is assumed to act at the 3/4 radius of the rotating bars. The power in kilowatt consumed at the interface of the welding is, so two bars, uh, each of diameter 10 mm has to be welded. Okay, and the pressure is your 200 MPa and rotational speed is your 4,000 RPM. So the coefficient of friction between the melting forces of the rotating bar is 0.5. Okay, so here this is a pressure. We can multiply this pressure by area, so they will become normal force, and if we multiply the normal force with coefficient of friction, okay, that is 0.5, that will be the friction force. Okay, so this is your friction force. Okay, that is 750.98. Okay, so when we multiply friction force with the radius, okay, and here the radius is the torque is due to attack to the force of the radius of the rotating body. Radius of the rotating body is your 10 mm. So the torque will be your this force, okay, friction force into this radius. Radius is as a force is acting at to the force of radius. So it is, this is torque. So we can find out torque, and from the torque we can find out power to to break this weld, or to carry out this weld. Okay. So that is 2 pi RT by 60. So for the power it can. Uh, okay, so the power consumed at the place of the welding is, and is given at in 4,000. Okay, we have found out. Okay, so answer is your 12.33 kilowatt. Okay, so answer is 12.33 kilowatt. Next, during steady state metal arc welding with direct current electrode positive polarity, the welding current, the voltage and weld speed are 150 ampere, 30 volt, and 6 meter per minute respectively. A metallic wire electrode of diameter 1.2 mm is being fed at a constant rate of 12 meter per minute. The density and the specific heat and melting temperature of the wire electrode are 7,000 kilogram per meter cube, 500 joule per kilogram per kilogram per degree Celsius, and 1530 degree per Celsius respectively. Assume the ambient temperature to be 30 degrees Celsius and neglect the latent heat of melting. Further consider two-thirds of the total electric power is available for melting of wire electrode by melting efficiency in percentage of the wire electrode is option A 39.58, B 42.25, C 49.38, D 54.98. Okay. So here the welding current is given as 150 MPa, 150 ampere, and the voltage is 30 volt, and the speed is your 40 minute. Speed is your 6 meter per minute. So we can calculate the power. Power is nothing but multiplication of voltage and current. So this is your 4500 watt. Okay. Now the it is given that the two-third only two-third of the total electric power is available to balancing of the electron. Okay. So the power available is this is your total power. Power available from balancing is your two-third of this. Okay, that is 3000. Okay. Now density of electrode is given, specificity of electrode is given. Volume per minute of electrode is your area into velocity. Okay. Volume of electrode consumed. Okay, area into velocity. So this is your just volume flow rate is your 0.22608 into 10 to the minus 6 meter cube per second. Okay, so this is your volume flow rate. Okay, and mass of the electrode is mass of the electrode per minute per second. If the volume flow rate is in per second, so then it is rho v. So this is your rho is your 7000. Okay, so it comes out as 1582.5 into minus 6. Okay, so this is your mass flow rate. Okay, so the heat required is your mass into specific into temperature. Uh, Temperature that can be changed. Okay, so this is your heat. Okay, but heat available is your that is heat available for melting or power available for melting, or that is heat consumed. Okay, so the efficiency of melting is this heat available for melting. Okay, sorry, heat required by heat available, that is 39.56%. Okay, so answer is your option E. Next, the tool geometry of a single point right-handed turning tool is provided in the orthogonal rack system. The sum of the principal measure, cutting edge angle and auxiliary minor cutting edge angle of the above tool is 90 degree. The inclination angle of the principal and auxiliary cutting edge angle are both 0 degree. The principal and auxiliary orthogonal clearance angles are 10 degree and 8 degree respectively. The rack angle in degree measured on orthogonal clearance. Option A 0, B2, C2, C8 and B10. Okay. So uh, when the inclination angle of the and principal angle when inclination angle of principal and side cutting angle are 0, it means the side rack angle and rack angle are 0 degree in ASC system. Okay, so as the inclination angle and principal inclination angle of as the inclination angle of hello, as the inclination angle of principal and side cutting edge are given as 0. So, okay, so the side rack angle and back angle are 0. Okay, so there is no inclination of both edges as the surface is smooth. Okay, so it means the orthogonal back angle with respect to machine and the inclination angle in orthogonal system are 0. Okay, so now we have this. We can use this formula also to find out this concept. Okay, so tangent gamma naught is equal to tangent gamma x sine phi tangent gamma y cos phi, and tangent lambda is equal to minus tangent gamma x cos phi plus tangent gamma y sin phi. Okay, where gamma x is the side rack angle or inclination of the principal cutting angle, that is 0. Okay, and gamma y is the back rack angle or inclination of the auxiliary angle, that is 0. Okay, so gamma x and gamma y are 0. So gamma x is used here. Okay, and gamma y is used here. Okay, and your pi is your principal cutting edge angle, and gamma naught is your orthogonal rack angle, and lambda is your inclination angle. Okay. So now uh, the rack angle, so orthogonal, so by putting this is equal to 0, it will be 0, this will be 0. So tangent, this will also be, so answer is your 0. Okay. Answer is 0. So you can remember either this formula. Okay, you have to remember this formula. Okay. Uh, okay. And this is your inclination angle, this is your orthogonal rack angle, and pi is your principal cutting edge angle. So remember that formula if you are um, uh, if you are attempting the production engineering gate exam, so then you have to remember this formula. Okay. And in mechanical, it may not be asked. Okay. Next, keeping all other parameters changed. The tool wear in electric discharge would be less if the material tool were keeping all parameters unchanged. Okay. A tool wear in the electrical machining would be less if the tool material has high thermal conductivity and high specific heat, B high thermal conductivity and low specific heat, C low thermal conductivity and low specific heat, D low thermal conductivity and high specific heat. Okay. In electric charge machining, the high conductivity of tool is required for efficient heat transfer within the tool without much pressure. If the temperature rise take place of tool, then the tool can fail. Okay, so to high conductivity avoid this uh, temperature rise in the tool. Okay, so second is high specific heat of the tool is required to store more heat. Okay, so high conductivity is required and high specific heat is also required to store more heat without rising in temperature. Okay, if the specific heat is high, then for the same heat the temperature difference or the temperature rise will be low. Okay, so melting will not take place. Okay, so high thermal conductivity and high specific heat are required. So answer is there. Next, for a three-axis CNC table, slide along the vertical axis of the table is driven by a DC servo motor via a lead screw nut damper. The lead screw has a pitch of 5 mm. The lead screw is fitted with a relative incremental circular encoder. The basic length unit (BLU) of the slide along the vertical axis of the table is 0.005 mm. When the table moves along the vertical axis by 9 mm, the corresponding number of pulses generated by encoder is, okay, as the basic length unit is uh, 0.05 and basic length 0.005 and basic length unit is defined the length for one pulse. Okay, so and for one pulse the movement is just 0.005. Okay, and for 0.005 mm. Okay, and for the 9 mm the number of pulses required will be 9 by 0.005. Okay, that is 800. So answer is your D. Okay. Next, a small bore is designated as 25H7. The lower minimum and the upper maximum limits of the bore are 25 mm and 25.021 mm respectively. When the bore is designated as 25H8, then the upper limit is 25.033 mm. When the bore is designated as 25H6, then the upper limit of the board element is 25.001 plus 25.005 plus sorry C 25.009 and 25.013. Okay, so the board is designated for the board is designated as 25 H7. Okay, and the lower limit is 25 and a higher limit is 25.02. Okay, so the tolerance is your difference of this lower, higher and lower. Okay, that is your 0.21. And for the then we have to remember. Okay, so this is the production paper. So some data is you have to remember. And for the 25 S7 tolerance, S7 hole, the tolerance is your 69, where I is the tolerance unit. Okay. So now finding out, putting this tolerance equal to this. Okay. So I will be your 0.0013525. Okay. Similarly, for 25H8, the tolerance is your 25 I. Okay. Uh, okay. So, now this you have to also you have to remember. Okay. For H8, the tolerance is 25 I, and for H7, it is 65. Okay. So the given tolerance will be, and the given tolerance in your maximum size and minimum size of it is also given. The maximum size is your 25.003 and minimum size is 25. Okay, so this is your 0.003 and we have I. So I is for I is your this. Okay, same as above. Okay, so the for 25 as 6 the tolerance is your H10 I. Okay, okay, so we can. So for H7 tolerance is 69, for H8 25i, and for H6 the tolerance is your 10i. Okay. So the upper limit is your 25 plus 10 into this, that is 25.01 into answer is your D. Okay. Next, a gear with involute tooth profile has 50 teeth and module 2. It is in mesh with pinion having 20 teeth. The pressure angle is 20 degrees. The base circle diameter is mm of the pinion is okay. The uh, the gear has 50 teeth. Okay, and its module is 2. Okay, so we can find out its diameter. Okay, so the diameter of the gear and pinion has 20 teeth. Okay, so pinion has 20 teeth. And as both the gears are in mesh, so the module will be same for both. Okay, so when we are taking pinion, diameter of pinion is 20 to 40 mm. Okay, so now the pressure angle is 20 degrees. Okay, so base circle diameter, if the diameter of the pinion is known, then the base circle diameter is d cos phi. So as so that is 37.5. So there is nothing to do with the diameter of gear. So you need to find out the gear diameter. Okay. Only just you should know the module and diameter of pinion or number of teeth of pinion and pressure angle. Okay. So answer is 37.587. Next, the length of time during which a particular piece of equipment operates before failure in a random variable. The distribution function has Ft is equal to 1 minus E minus 0.5t. Assume 100 pieces of equipment are placed into service in year 0. Out of the units which serve uh, which service the first 4 years, the units in percentage out of the units which serve the first 4 years, uh,